episode of FILAM CIVIC Action, your go-to podcast for community news, culture, and current events. I am Ernie.
And I am Bing. Today is a big one, Ernie. We're diving into something that affects every overseas Filipino, a right and duty to vote.
That is so right, Bing. The 2025 Philippine national and local elections are just around the corner. And we want you listening in your car, at work, or while cooking adobo to be informed and ready.
Yes, to guide us through everything we need to know about overseas voting, we're honored to welcome Deputy Consul General Maria Alnee of the Philippine Consulate General in Los Angeles. Welcome po, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ernie and Bing, and magandang umaga po sa ating mga kababayan in Las Vegas and in the Southern Nevada region in general.
Thank you so much, Deputy Consul.
Thank you, Deputy Consul.
Yeah, let's start at the beginning. What exactly is overseas voting?
Okay, so overseas voting was actually put in place by law, and this was something that was lobbied for, pushed for by many of our overseas Filipinos because they did not want to be disenfranchised. They still wanted to participate in the political life of the country, even though they were already miles away from home. So because of that, if I remember correctly, that law was passed in 2003. And since 2004, overseas Filipinos have been participating in our elections. Although, in the case of overseas voters, ang binoboto lang nila, for example, is the president and the vice president, plus 12 senators, and a party list representative pag yung presidential elections. Now, when it comes to the midterm elections, like what we are having now, our registered overseas voters will be voting for at most 12 senators and 1 party list representative.
So, Deputy Consul, how long has this been in place?
So since 2003 po, ang overseas voting, because of the Overseas Voting Act, that's when we started the registration for overseas voting. And the first elections where overseas voters were able to participate was in 2004.
2000, that was 21 years ago, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk timeline, Deputy Consul General. When is the actual voting period for us here overseas?
Yes.
Okay, so the voting period has actually already started. It started in April 13. So unlike yung mga voters natin sa Pilipinas, ang mga overseas voters po ay sobrang spoiled because you have 30 days to cast your votes. So that started in April 13 and that will end on May 12 at 4 a.m. because that has to be synchronized with the end of voting in the Philippines, which will happen on May 12 at 7 p.m.
You know what, Bing? It's really time because speaking of that, I voted last week.
Yep.
It was Sunday of last week. It was
So
it's ongoing now, huh?
Yeah.
So, what about registration, Deputy Consul? Are we still in the registration period?
No, the registration period ended in September. So this is how the cycle goes. So the registration period happens right after, say about 8 months after an election has ended, and it will end about 8 months prior to the next elections, and that is about a two-year period. So the last registration cycle ended in September in preparation for the national or the midterm national elections, which in the Philippines will take place on May 12, but for overseas voters, it's already ongoing.
I see. So there's no more registration open.
So, I'm just wondering, who are eligible to vote overseas? Who are they? I mean, just
Okay.
Yeah.
Pinaka-importante, of course, is kailangan po Filipino citizen po.
Okay.
So either a Filipino citizen who is a U.S. permanent resident or a dual citizen po, meaning U.S. citizen sila and then they regain their Philippine citizenship through the dual citizenship law.
I see. I
And
see.
then, yes, and then kailangan po at least 18 years of age at the time of the elections. So dapat by May 12, 2025, 18 years old na
Buti na lang.
yung
I see.
botante.
Yeah.
Buti
Yes.
na lang 24 years old na ako,
I
Big.
see. I know. We're over age. We're more than qualified. So, Deputy
Yes.
Consul, what is the process like, especially for folks here in Las Vegas?
All right. So for the first time po, we are having a very different mode of voting. So that's for all of us here in the United States and in 76 other embassies and consulates. So we are now doing voting online. So online voting po tayo. So that means wala na pong matatanggap na paper ballots. Yun pong ating mga registered voters here in the United States. So including po yung mga kababayan natin dyan sa Las Vegas and the rest of Southern Nevada.
Oh, thank you, Consul General. So talking about heart, talking
Yes.
about love of the country and talking about motivation, why should our kababayan abroad care about voting in the Philippines? I mean, voting for the candidates running for public offices in the Philippines.
Voting is, I think, one of the most important responsibilities that any person has when he or she is a citizen of any country. I mean, not just the Philippines. I'm sure many of our kababayans voted in the last U.S. elections, and they voted because they had hopes and dreams about their lives here in the U.S. But in the same vein, I'm sure that many of our kababayans here, despite being dual citizens, still have attachment to
True.
the motherland.
Right.
And of course, yung pong mga Filipino citizens, the Philippines is still their home, part of their heart. And I believe, we in the consulate believe that all Filipinos still want their country, to progress, to develop, to be able to do and support, its people. And in order to do that, you have to elect the proper officials that will guide our country. Kumbaga, ang atin pong mga ine-elect na officials, they're the captains of the ship called the Philippines. So, kumbaga, kailangan po ng suporta ng lahat ng Pilipino in order for our officials, the right officials to be elected and to be able to steer our country towards the direction where, of course, the Filipino people want to go. So, syempre, kung gusto po natin na mangyayari yan, of course, we need to participate in the electoral exercise of the country.
Tama.
Tama.
And let's be real, Ernie and
That's true.
Deputy Consul. Let's be real. If we don't vote, we lose the right to complain, right?
I guess that's the most practical way of saying, why you need to vote. So if you have a lot of things to say about how things are going in the country, the way
Correct.
the way you do something about it is through the vote, through your vote.
Let your vote
That's
count.
right. That's
Yeah.
So,
That's just very
so Deputy Consul, we've heard a few concerns from
Yeah.
kababayans here, like, what if my name isn't on the list, or what if I moved and did not update my address?
Okay, kung basta po registered po sila, it does not matter if they have already moved to a different address, which is not the address recorded when they registered with us. So hindi na, as I've said, no, hindi na po tayo paper ballots. So we will not be sending out any ballots because previously we used to be doing voting by mail.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter ho. Ang importante po ay nakapagparehistro po sila and they can check their registration status doon po sa aming website, losangelespcg.org, and then i-click po nila yung tab for election information. Nakapost po doon yung certified list of voters na na-generate po ng COMELEC for our registered voters under the jurisdiction of the Philippine Consulate General in Los Angeles. So, unless po na, let's say, hindi po sila nakaboto for the last 2 previous elections, then that means most likely po ay nawala na po sila sa certified list of voters. So, they will need to reactivate their registration in the next registration cycle.
So, Deputy Consul General, so if they only miss one, their name is not being removed, right? It has to be 2
Hindi pa.
consecutive?
If they only missed 1, but if they miss 2 consecutive elections, then they will be dropped po from the certified list of voters.
They have to register again if they missed the past 2
Not
elections.
necessarily register, but more like reactivate po yung kanilang registration.
So is there...
And that can be done kapag may registration na po ulit tayo.
Okay, so is there in-person voting also, Deputy Consul? And if there is, what's the process to do that?
Okay, so let me go through the what we are currently doing now, no, for online voting. So an active registered voter, in order to participate in online voting for the 2025 Philippine national elections, must first enroll. So bakit po kailangang mag-enroll? Kasi nga po, di ba, online voting po tayo. So in order for you to access the online voting portal, kailangan po kayong may username and password. So in order for you to get a username and password, kailangan nyo po mag-enroll po. So you can do the enrollment in the COMELEC website, ov.comelec.gov.ph, and then you can use your Philippine passport, your Philippine driver's license, your Philippine National ID or the PhilSys ID. If you're a seafarer, yung seaman's book po na issued ng Marina. And if you are a member of the Philippine Bar, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines ID card. So those are the IDs that you can use to enroll yourself online without any assistance from the consulate.
Yeah.
Now, kung wala po kayo ng any of those IDs, you can come see us here sa consulate. We are open every day, even holidays and weekends from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we will assist you. So usually po we check po na Filipino citizen pa kayo or dual citizen. Kasi po meron na rin pong mga Filipinos na nakapag-register sila when they were still Filipino citizens and they are now US citizens. So unless na nakapag-dual na sila, hindi na po rin sila dapat bumoboto.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that information.
So dapat po ang i-present nilang ID sa amin is yung kanilang US permanent resident card or their dual citizenship certificates, or kung meron po silang passport at nahihirapan din po sila to access the enrollment portal on their own, they can still come to see us and present their Philippine passport.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Deputy.
I keep on making mistake in referencing you. It should be Deputy Consul General, not Deputy Consul. I apologize.
Oh, yes.
It's Deputy
Not a
Consul General
problem.
Rambo.
That's true.
Thank you.
We have to correct ourselves. Yes.
Sorry about that.
How can listeners get involved in encouraging their friends and family to vote?
Okay, so we actually have a lot of, kumbaga, if you are in need of assistance from the consulate in order to enroll, you are an active registered voter, meaning ang registration nyo is there, you are part of the certified list of voters under the Philippine Consulate General in Los Angeles. Please, of course, enroll and vote. Kung hindi po kayo makapag-enroll on your own, please come see us. We're not just here in Los Angeles. Right now, we have a team in Phoenix, Arizona,
Oh, interesting.
undertaking a consular outreach mission. There is also an overseas voting desk there, and our team will assist you in enrolling, and so that you may be able to vote online. At the same time, I'd also like to mention that we will be back in Las Vegas for overseas voting outreach, May 9 and 10. We will be in Seafood City at the Maryland Parkway. So
That would be next week,
May
right?
9 and May 10.
May 9 and May 10.
Filipino town, di po ba? So nandoon po ang aming team May 9 and 10. And then we will also have an overseas voting outreach in San Diego, May 2 until May 4. And then we will be in Barrio Hi-Fi in historic Filipino town here in Los Angeles on May 3. We will also be at the Ube Festival in Cerritos this Saturday. So there are many ways for you to reach us. And then starting po April 29, we will have enrollment via Zoom din po. So you don't even actually have to come and see us here in the consulate or in any of those places I mentioned. All these things are posted on our social media pages. So that's Facebook, Instagram, and in X or formerly Twitter. Nandun din po yan sa aming website. So wag po kayong mabahala if you are having difficulties. You will be able to reach us and we will gladly assist you.
Thank you, Deputy
Thank you.
Consul
Thank you,
General.
Consul
So,
General.
yeah, to our lovely friends and kababayans here in Las Vegas, the Consulate General office they'll be here May 9th and 10th, just to be, just to say it again, it's May 9th
City.
and 10th. Seafood
Maryland
City.
Parkway.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And that's a lot of information being.
That's a lot of information.
And don't fall
have
for
to
fake
share,
news, folks.
Yeah.
Do not fall for fake news. Trust only official COMELEC and consulate sources. Before
Right,
we
very right.
before we proceed to our next one, Deputy Consul General, I was just wondering, what is the population of the voting population of Filipinos in Las Vegas? What do you have any numbers?
Actually, in
Any
comparison
statistics?
to
Stats, yeah.
what is estimated to be the total number of Filipinos in the Pacific Southwest, mababa po siya yung total. I mean, as far as we understand, there should be about between 1.2 to 1.4 million Filipinos under our jurisdiction. But those who are registered to vote are under 35,000. So there really is a lot.
That's a lot.
We need to do a lot. And of course, the consulate cannot do it on its own. We need the assistance and support of the community, our various community associations and organizations. And we've been very lucky. For example, there in Las Vegas, we have received so much support from our kababayans there. And we hope that we can continue to count on them. And of course, on our Filipino-American media, importante din po kayo in order for us to really disseminate this information and to strongly encourage our kababayans to participate in the electoral exercise of our country as well.
Thank you so much. And we
thank you.
also here at FILAM CIVIC Action International, or FASI, to which our Kuya Bernie Benito is the founder.
Yes.
We are always ready for you.
So
Just reach out to us
you very
anytime.
much for that.
Yes, correct. So before we wrap up, Deputy Consul General, any final reminders?
Just to request everyone, especially the overseas voters out there, the registered voters, please do go out and vote. I mean, you don't necessarily have to go out. You can do your voting in the comforts of your home or even at work during your break time. Just don't forget to first enroll in order to access the online voting portal. And if you need assistance from us, we are always very glad to assist you.
So it's very easy to do. Yeah, I went through that and I did not have any problems. I was
Thank
able
you,
to
thank
vote
you.
in no time at all.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Deputy Consul General Maria Alnee Gamble, for joining us today. It's really our pleasure. And thank you for the work you do in keeping overseas Filipinos engaged and empowered.
And to our listeners, spread the word. Share this episode, help a kababayan, and be part of the change.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Bing.
Thank
and
you very
Will.
much, then, Ernie
Thank you.
and Bing.
Thank you. We'll be
Thank you,
back with
thank
more
you.
community stories soon. Until then, stay informed, stay united, and stay proud. Again, Deputy General.
Thank you very much.
Deputy Consul General Gamble, thank you so much. We
And
really appreciate it.
Mabuhay ang
Mabuhay ang
Pilipino at mabuhay ang boto ng bawat isa.
Magandang gabi po
Salamat
sa
po,
inyong
mabuhay.
lahat.
Magandang umaga po sa Pilipinas ngayon.
For those who are in Siargao again, marazon na gabi sa tanan, marazon na buntag. Salamat karajaw.
Ang
Siargao.
province of Cebu, kumusta mo tanan diha? At sa sunod nga episode.
Salamat kaayo. Maraming
Salamat.